right here. One of the favorite songs ever coming out of the tunnel. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bay Path Press Conference here. Weekly press conference with Coach Giampa here at Bay Path, where we get an opportunity to talk a little bit about football, but more importantly about building a little buzz before the next football game here at our school. Again, everybody, my name is Dean Packard, the proud principal here at Bay Path Regional Vocational Technical High School, and I have with me Coach Giampa. Nice to see you. How's everything going, my friend? It's great to have you with us.
Good. It's good. We got the kids back in the building. We had a first full week of academics, which is for the freshmen and a full 5-day schedule. So we're finally getting back to normal. So we're excited.
So that's that teaching hat that we talk about that all of our coaches do during the day, which is vitally important because all of our coaches are somewhat have that heart of a teacher, and they understand that magnitude of teaching kids is also important outside the classroom and onto our fields. Hey, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your first game, that week one and against Southbridge. Obviously, the score was not indicative, obviously, of the work that was in and that you used to prepare. But let's talk about the outcome. Well, how did you feel coming out of that game? We had a few opportunities to talk to some of your players in a little press conference. I thought they handled themselves really well. But from the coach's perspective, what were your thoughts?
And we were really proud of them. There was a ton of adversity at the beginning of the game, right? So you have the 2-hour delay, which is not easy for anyone to deal with. I certainly probably dealt with it the poorest. We have, we got
that's fair. Good self-assessment right there.
Oh, that wasn't one of my, it's just tough. It's, you put so much into it, the coaches and the kids, and then you get the will you or won't you. And that, to me, that's the toughest. If you told us we're starting at 9, then, that's fine. But it's the every 15 minutes up, it's pushed back another 30 minutes, push back another 30 minutes, push back another 30 minutes. I think we went there was a point where I was getting time updates every maybe 5 minutes from from 7:30 all the way to 8:15. I just locked myself in the coach's room at a certain point and told people to stop telling me the time. But I was and again, the kids, it's hard. It's really hard, right? Because we start in December. I mean, that to me, that's when we start. We start in December. We're in the weight room, and our kids are working on a singular goal to compete, and they want to compete. And they got family members out. They have different things pulling them one way or another. Emotions are high. It's the opening game, and you got to keep waiting. I thought our kids handled it really well. I was really proud again of the leadership, the captains keeping kids calm, keeping kids focused, and just the team in general. You're dealing with 14 to 18-year-olds, so the maturity that they saw. And then when the game started, they were ready to go. There was no lag as coaches. We didn't feel like we had to do anything to get them going extra. They were ready to go, and they were waiting, and so that was great to see from them.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the buzz, the crowd. I mean, you're talking 1,500 people here. I mean, I thought it was absolutely amazing. The support that came out. The student section was rocking. Parents were here. Southbridge crowd was outstanding. You think about with that adversity of waiting around for 2 hours, not a single incident. They wanted to see some football. So again, I'm hoping to see that same type of crowd here again in regards to this next game coming up on tomorrow night. So what were your thoughts about that? What was it like playing in front of a crowd like that?
Oh, it was cool. I mean, it was really awesome. I thought it's great. Again, I think it's a reflection on our kids, the support that the communities, and again, we're in a unique situation, right? It's not one community. We have multiple communities that are coming out to support our team and want to see our kids play. I thought it was great. It was fantastic. We're waiting in the locker room and the cars kept rolling up. Somebody told me there was a line all the way to Charlton Middle School, which, is quite a ways down the hill. So it was awesome. And I think, again, I think our kids deserve to play in front of crowds like that. I think, I think our kids were really amped up by playing in front of a crowd like that. And it was great. And hopefully we see a similar crowd tomorrow night.
No, I think we will. Hey, let's shift gears for a second. Let's talk about the focus for Leicester. Leicester's got a great program. They've had a great program all along. The quality, what you're going to be up against, is going to challenge the kids. How do you keep the kids focused and in line in preparation for that next opportunity? Because you and I both know the attention span on kids is short. So at the end, you're in the middle of a journey. This is what coaching is all about. How do you prepare for that next level?
Well, I think, for me, the biggest thing is we focus on practice that day, right? Nothing gets done unless you're practicing well. I compare it to taking a test on a Friday. You can have all the anxiety in a test you want. You can be worried about a test. You can freak out at a test. But if you're focused on the test on Friday, you're not going to do well, right? You get the assignment Monday, you work on it Monday, you come back to class Tuesday, which is another practice for us. And, the teacher is going to lay out what needs to be done in order for you to be successful. And you got to focus on that day. And then the same thing next day, yesterday, in the pouring rain, we were out there, in the mud on the practice field. And again, just focused on what we're doing that minute, having kids focused on that and having coaches focused on it too. Understanding that, we have to be perfect in practice all the time, because if you're not perfect in practice, it's certainly, that's a big myth that there's gamers. Certain kids are great on game day. Certain kids, if we're not doing it in practice, we're not going to do it in a game, right? So if we're not preparing well in practice, you're not going to be. It's nothing magical about Friday night. Friday night, you're presenting the product that you worked on all week. So, we just continue to reinforce that. Last week was great, but last week is going to be a distant memory once next week hits. So we need to focus on, like you said, a great team in Leicester. They're incredibly well coached. That's a really proud town, a really proud program. Those kids play really hard. They're incredibly physical. They're fast. Their quarterback's one of the best quarterbacks in Central Mass. Their running backs are fantastic. Their offense and defensive lines are physical. They get after you. So we need to be prepared. And we don't want to be sitting here in a few months saying, wow, what a great job we did on week 1. Let's not talk about any other season. It's just focused on every day. So today, we have our pregame today. We need to be perfect today. That starts, in our pre-practice, the way we stretch, every special team that we do, our offensive period, defensive period, every rep needs to be as perfect as that rep can be. And then again, like I said last week, Friday night will take care of itself. That's kind of out of your control. You don't know what questions are going to be on the test. You don't know if it's multiple choice or open response or an essay, but if you're prepared and you've done all the work during the week, there's nothing that you can get thrown on a Friday night that you're not prepared for, and give yourself the best opportunity to be successful.
Raise the bar, get it done in practice. Wins and losses take care of themselves. It's about mental toughness and taking it one step at a time. Okay. And I love that, man. And that coaching philosophy is one that I know the most successful coaches out there always subscribe to. And I love the fact that you correlate that back to what happens in a classroom. You prepare, you over prepare, you drill in skill, you make sure you're focusing on the little things, and great things happen in the end. For the most part, they really do. And I love that. That's called the systems approach. Good stuff there. Hey, what kind of message you want to throw out to the community? How do you want to just get that buzz, that narrative from the head coach? What do you want to say to those people in the stands? Besides cheer on our guys, at the end of the day, we want that community behind us. We want these kids seeing and feeling how great that is to have a community supporting what's going on. And again, I'm talking not only football, everything athletically, everything we do in this building is all about creating a buzz and creating a brand. But what would you like to say, Coach? How would you like to get those juices flowing?
Oh, again, I thought last week they were tremendous. And I think what's important is when we succeed, everybody succeeds, right? So when the football team succeeds, all of the supporters, all of the fans, the families, because it's a community effort, right? It's hard. Again, kids, we come from a lot of different areas to come up here. So, that involves those it's not 5 a.m., but those 6 a.m. sessions in the summer, that's a community effort. We need parents to wake up and drive kids. We need parents to be invested, and they are. And so, when our kids succeed, the community succeeds. And I think having parents there, having fans there, having the student section there, again, we're a representation of our students. Our football team is an extension of the student body. So when we succeed, they succeed. So having them there, be a part of it, that's really exciting for us. And we want them to be as engaged as they were last week. I said last week, we want to make this an incredibly unpleasant place to play. And so far, our fans are 1-0, right? And so we want, again, now we need to shift gears, focus on next week, focus on, tomorrow night, and they'll have all of those people who came supported us. Hopefully we start in a more timely fashion this week. We start on time so that we're not keeping people way out past their bedtime. But having those people show up, having them there, and enjoy, again, the product that our kids are trying to put out there, the competition level. Again, I think it's going to be a great game. Leicester's a great team. They're really well coached. So we're going to need that support. And Leicester, again, that community, that's a community that's behind that team all the time. So they're going to be here. They're going to be present and focused on their team. So we want to get that same group and more, invite more people up here to make it, again, hopefully make it another memorable experience.
I'll tell you what, Coach, congratulations on the first week. I know it's the beginning steps of a journey that you have in front of you. But more importantly, I want to just make a quick shout out to our Honor Society kids, Mr. Estabrooks. They're working the concession stands. They're doing things behind the scenes, our ticket takers, our faculty that comes to the games. When you create the village behind a team or behind a sports program, what happens is everybody feels it. And you take great pride in what you're doing. So listen, I'm super excited to be on the sidelines watching you guys tomorrow night and just enjoying the opportunity. But again, hats off to you, your coaching staff, and I know your kids will be ready, but I also know you'll keep your kids have it in perspective on what needs to take place and how to get the job done. So good job. Listen, great job again today. Press releases are always fun to create a buzz. And I'll tell you what, as the song states, and I'll tell you what, my technology man just failed me for a second, but there it is right there. We'll see you 7 o'clock up on the hill for Bay Path against Leicester. Round number 2, week number 2. It should be good. Everybody, have a great afternoon. Thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate your time.